Welcome to the Warren Andrew Pinder podcast with your host, Warren Andrew Pinder, author and speaker.
Andrew Pinder podcast show. This episode is titled, How to Figure Out What You Want from Life and Then Get It. We all know that we have one life to live, but what we don't want to do with it is to just live it without achieving something that we can leave a mark. A person would know that we lived a successful, fulfilled life. Figuring out what you want from life can be a daunting task, but it's truly worth figuring it out. Are you one who constantly wish that you can change where you are in life, your job, your finances, wish you can find happiness? These questions you must ask yourselves if you're in pursuit of trying to figure out exactly what it is that you want from your life. What are your passions? Question, what makes you happy? What do you love doing? You must write them down. Write down the things that you love most. If it's, just chilling, if you love music, you love exercise, you love reading, write them down. Key strategies to keep in mind in your pursuit of what you want from your life is in identifying these passions that you love to do. Like I say, write it down. You have to then see and know, because it's in when you're passionate about something, you will probably find happiness in pursuing that passion. I spoke about this in the previous podcast. To identify your passion, think about the things that give you joy or excitement, what you like to do. And once you've found that these are things that you like, maybe cooking, gardening, a lot of times you would have sat down and I didn't understand through the pandemic how much I loved just to be able to have a peaceful moment. This helped me to formulate thoughts in writing my book. I took the time, sitting on my back patio with silence all around in the middle of the day, hearing the sounds of no cars, hearing nothing past the chirping of the birds, seeing them just running around. This was something that I absolutely enjoyed, and I was able to think clearer, and that allowed me to then pen my thoughts, ultimately writing and publishing a book. So once you have identified those passions that you would like to pursue, you have to explore the different interests from the list that you've formulated. Dig deeply in it. Narrow down the things that you really, really enjoy. The more you learn about them, the easier it will be to figure out what you want. You can't be afraid. Don't be afraid of failure. If it's something that's going to cost you, just know that is what you want and you're going to pursue it. Remember that failure is a part of life and it's okay to make mistakes. What matters is how you learn from your failures and use them to help you to grow. You don't know when you're taking and you're pursuing something new. Consider yourself a novice. So have an open mind that I'm going into this to learn. And the more you put yourself and you want to gravitate everything toward that which you have set out to do and pursue. So failure, whether you fail or not, you would have tried. You would have taken action to try. So you just look at it as if you're just going into this new venture to learn something new. In a lot of times we could be in a present position in our professional lives, and you want to learn something new. So a lot of times I've known persons that have gone and taken up trades, just for a do-it-yourself project or backyard farming courses. There's so much on the internet to do now, and some persons are going to, trade schools and learning carpentry and plumbing to cut down on the costs of having to pay for the maintenance of your homes and so forth. And, by taking those courses, There are persons who have learned that, hey, this is what I want to do. And they've made a midlife, career change because they found their passion in doing this, this new self-thought or self-found skill. So it's in stepping out and just beginning to from that list of what you want, you have to then just go and say, this is what I want to do regardless. There's no failure in it. I'm just going to do it because I want to do it. The easiest way to do it is to, connect with persons that can help you figure out what you want from life. A mentor or a coach. It's helpful to enlist as a part of a mentor or coach who can offer guidance and advice. Someone who's an expert in what it is you're interested in. And a lot of it can be a family friend. It could be someone that, you could just say that, I'm interested in, a moment I can speak to. My name is Warren Andrew Pinder. I am, can I just ask your advice on how is it that I can, I'd like to get some, experience in fixing a motorbike. Or, can you help me? Can I just sit down and talk to you a minute and you give me some, just share some of your expertise? There are persons out there that will assist you like that. There are professional clubs that you can join that, you can get instructions, YouTube. It's just so much, so in trying to find a mentor, make a list of important qualities in what you expect from a mentor. And then look around. Who's successful at what I'm interested in? Let me research him. How did he start? Where did he go to school? Can I just, see his jobs or what are they doing? Just to be able to go by and visually see what you're trying to accomplish. There's no, when you are passionate, there's no cost. Because when you get into doing something you really want to do it, it doesn't matter. There's no budget toward doing something. So you can find a project that you may want. If it's carpentry that you like, you may find a project that you want to work on and make it something that you can use. It's nothing like after you're done, seeing your work being placed as a piece of furniture that persons can see what you are capable of doing. This can lead toward you performing work and contracting work from other persons because they like what you are doing when you get to the level that your desire may want. And now you turn that into something that you like to do, into a career or business. So regardless of who you choose to work with, the most important thing is that you feel comfortable in communicating with them and trust their advice. A lot of times we'll go and you don't actually know it, but you just have a common conversation. You take on a project at your house and you just someone that that is capable of doing something. Or a lot of times, my car isn't running right, because I hear this knocking in my car, and what do you think it is? Is the bearing and you begin to get into details of what may be. But that person is given the same type of advice that I'm talking to you, not in a formal setting of someone mentoring you. But imagine that if that's what you really want to do and you continue to go and talk to people and get from them their advice, that is the same objective. Sharing, and there are persons that are expert, that are prepared and willing to share with others who are willing to learn. So you want to set definitive goals. Once you have a better idea of what you want from life, it's important to set clear goals to help you achieve these objectives. I can tell you that when I came home and I was early in my career, I know that I had studied construction management, and I knew that I just wanted to build. I wanted to build a $10 million project. That was the goal that I set for myself. I remember the building being built, and I would stand on the perimeter and just watch the new technique, because it was a new technique that was brought into, into the country. How this floor was being poured, and I was just, I needed to know. I wanted to know exactly what were they doing. So I would go by daily. This is, I was teaching down the street, and I would make sure that at lunch I would walk to go and see what was the next step. In another project that was going on, I saw something interesting, and that became my daily list. A part of my learning and part of me, my zeal to want to learn new techniques, when I was dating. On a Sunday afternoon, I would ride around and just look at these projects. The funny thing was, ladies were interested in, hey, when we build, you say the word, like when we built this house, you want to do this and you do that, but you shared that interest, because every woman wants to know that, someone they're dating would be interested in building a home. So, of course, they wanted to ride often. But my goal at that time was to be able to construct a project valued at $10 million. And if I can say to you right now, my goal was fulfilled. I was successful in constructing not one project in the value of 10 million, but actually two.
Thank you for joining today's podcast. We'll be right back.
Achieve Men, written by Warren Andrew Pinder. In this book, you will learn the 7 steps to achieving your dreams and goals. Given the vision to share how the acronym of the word achieve can be used systematically in your day-to-day life. Each of us is given a unique gift from God. Get your copy today. Available in print, ebook, and audiobook from Amazon.
We now return to today's podcast.
So, tips for setting goals: be realistic about setting your goals. It's essential to set goals that challenge you, but are also realistic. It's like if you live in a small studio apartment, living on minimum wage, don't set a goal like, I want to make $1 million in 2 days. It's just not realistic. Yes, you can achieve anything if you believe you can. However, you have to build self-confidence to set loftier goals when you start small. You help yourself to build that confidence because you're successful in achieving the goal that is realistic. So you realize by setting the base of that goal that now you can start as you begin to build the self-confidence, and you see yourself believing and following the goals that the steps to achieving that goal, that you can actually grow to be successful at the higher and more loftier goal. Be very specific when you set your goals. Like, I want to buy a house in the next 5 years. It is a much better goal than I want to own a house. When you're specific about, that which you're claiming that you want, it's easier to make plans to achieve it. Because, when you say, I want to buy a home in the next, that in order for you to buy that home, you need to start saving. You need to cut out a lot of that, your waste spending. You need to start planning, where do I want to live? Start looking at the value, the prices. You may want to live in a particular area, but you have to settle for where it is that I can be realistic, in terms of where I can and afford to live. And of course, write your goals down. There's studies that have shown that people who keep a written list of their goals are more likely to achieve them than those who don't. Writing your goals can help you stay focused and motivated as you work towards achieving them. Repetitiously, if you see something daily, you will remember it, right? Or you won't forget it. So constantly write it down that you got to see it, that you just constantly have to see it. I'm telling you these things because these are things that I realize before I really knew what a vision board was, in 1989, I remember, and I have it, and I can actually show it. I have it to this day. I literally drew out all the things that I wanted to achieve. I didn't write them down. Did a diagram, and I illustrated to myself on paper that I wanted to travel the world. So I drew a plane just flying across. I wanted to own a motorbike, which I've already done. I wanted to build large buildings, and I drew in the background, so I wanted to build large buildings. I wanted to be married at the age of 30, and I wanted a nice home and, a small family. Today, I can say that I've achieved the majority of those goals that I illustrated to myself. And it's in an album, an old album. It's an old technique, but the vision is clear. These were the things that I wanted. And every time I looked at that, I was reminded that this is what I want. But I'm telling you to go further now and write down those goals of your wish list for your life. And then take action every day toward your goals. When you wake up in the morning, every day you wake up, after telling God, thank you for just, getting me up and keeping me focused on what it is that you have for me to do, and guide me toward what I want for my life that is ordained and blessed by you. So keeping that focus on your goals and your wish for your life, taking action daily toward them. It's important to keep going, whether it's taking a small step like reading an article or watching a video or doing something more significant like applying for a job or starting a business. Rather than watching all of the TV shows and sports and so forth, go into all of the motivational product, material that's on YouTube. Fill your mind with positivity, things that you can learn how to think, understand exactly what it's about, belief in what you're doing, self-invested time on improving yourself, your skills, the network around you to achieving your goals can be vital, because you don't want to be around persons when you tell them what your goals are and they look at you like, nah, the man, that's not going to work. You don't want to be around persons like that. You want to be around persons who are like-minded and thinking of going where you want to go. These persons can help you stay on track when you're feeling discouraged. And then they'll celebrate with you when you achieve those goals. That's so important. Because when you tell someone something that they believe that, yes, we could do this, or you could do this, they're the persons that when things are going wrong and you see like it seems as if you're failing, and they're saying, no, man, push on. You could do it. Just continue to push, bro. Don't worry about that. They'll be the person that really celebrate with you when you achieve it. One of the most important things that you can learn in your life, if you really want to know how to get the most of your life and get where you want to go or where you're supposed to be, is to not be afraid to ask for help. When you're struggling or you need support, sometimes it's difficult to reach out and ask for help. However, my friends, everyone needs a little help from time to time. And those who will ask for it will often find that they have a strong network of people who are eager to offer it, And that's why I was telling you, informally, there are a lot of persons that are prepared to mentor and give advice if you come across to them right. If you're respectful, if you look in a man's eye and you are able to show him that you're eager to learn, that you're coming to him because you respect his authority on the subject in which you are interested in. A lot of times, those same persons that you're asking for will see themselves in you, and they'll be prepared to help you if you're serious and not going to waste their time. So we have to always know that in figuring out what we want from our life and then how to get it, it's in first identifying the things that, not because you see something that you think you want it, but identifying the things that you like, that things that you are comfortable with, things that you are passionate about. Don't be afraid. Write down daily. Review that which you want. Cross it out. Draw it if you need to. Make it a part of your daily life. Be open and honest to yourself that this is really what you want. So figuring out what you really want from life is no simple task. But once you do this, setting goals and working towards them can be an enriching experience, my friends. Don't be afraid to dream big, but start small. Master the basics of what it is your interest is geared toward. Build a support around you that believe in you, that they'll celebrate with you. Always celebrate your achievements. And then when it's all said and done, you can pat yourself on the back because you took action to get what it is you want out of life. You've been listening to the Warren Andrew Pinder podcast show. It's in taking action that you will achieve.
Thank you for listening to the Warren Andrew Pinder podcast. We hope you were encouraged and moved to take action. For more information about Warren Andrew Pinder and his book, Achieve Men, visit www.warrenandrewpinder.com.